some pierogies and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let's all root for the Buccos.
That's what I'm talking about. Samantha's expression is fucking the pinnacle of how this is going to go.
That
Welcome
person,
everybody to an episode of the
this
Show
right here,
Podcast.
that's a hater right there. Right there.
It's the other way.
That's a hater. And the one far over on the other side, that's just some Yinzer bullshit over there.
I'm just here to here to appease the Yinzers. Welcome everybody to the Show Thoughts Podcast. Of course, I'm the Big Show. Big E's with us this week. Of course, Samantha's here as always. So it's Pirates opening day this weekend, and Eric, of course, made the intro, and he also made the graphic for this week's episode online. And yet he's not even. I thought he'd be a little bit more showboatish, and
I
have a
would
little
listen. I'm superstitious. The Pirates are off today, so I won't wear Pirate stuff. The Penguins played today, so actually, like at work and stuff, I was wearing Penguin stuff today, and I wanted to show off the new hat. See, turbo tubs. So I can't. Like I said, I'm superstitious. I can't wear Pirate stuff on an off day. It's weird. I'm just like that.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. But Sam, what
I'll be in it tomorrow. I'll be in the whole gear.
Floats your boat, Eric.
What?
Whatever floats that little boat.
That troll be floating a little boat. That's what it be doing.
Oh my god! But meanwhile, the Pirates are in what, last place, Sam?
Well, yeah, we've only won 2 games. It's reverse psychology.
Here we go. Let's fucking go. Oh
well, every year, listen, the past like 3-4 years, they start off so good, and we're like, this is the year, and then they fucking tank it at the end of the summer. Well, we're gonna tank it now and then turn it around halfway through, and there we go, playoffs. Here we come.
If those thoughts of what's going to keep those little duckies afloat, then you keep going. I'll support you.
better than overpaying for a fucking outfielder that ain't doing shit.
Oh my god. So that brings, now that we're here discussing the Pirates, and of course Eric is here, I'm going to ask Eric, do the Pirates finish over 500?
Yeah, we will. I think this year I know, again, we're Yinzers. We say this every year, like I just said, like this is the year, but we have the potential to actually do something good this year. Like, I'm not saying we're a World Series team or anything like that. Don't. I'm not going that far. But I think that we have, this year is the year that we can start building and becoming a playoff contender and stuff like that. We have some pitching injuries right now that are screwing us over, and we brought up the young guy the other day. He made his first debut, which he did really good, but I think he just needs to get the nerves out and get settled. So it's like, I think we have all the pieces right now. We just gotta get our shit together. I mean, it's only been 1 week of 162 games. I think there's some time for us to put it together. So
I mean,
I definitely think we're finishing over 500. Like I said, I'm not predicting World Series, or I don't even know if I would predict playoffs right now. But just because we're in a division that's so tough, with the Cubs, the Cardinals, I mean, Milwaukee got their fucking asses kicked the other. At least we didn't lose like 21-0 to the Yankees. I mean, we might tomorrow, but
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Yankees are playing they played in their stadium. Have you ever been to their stadium? That's like a baby stadium.
What, the Yankee Stadium?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I won't step foot in the Yankee Stadium because I used to be a Red Sox fan. So,
well, Stanky Stadium is small. It's not that hard to hit home runs in that stadium.
Well, it's better than what we just played Tampa Bay, and their stadium got ripped down by the Hurricanes last fall. I guess that was when all those hurricanes hit Florida. So they're actually playing in the Yankees spring training field, which is like just a little bit bigger than like a college field. Like it's so small, and like there's guys hitting home runs. Like, but the thing is they're not. Tampa Bay is going to play on the road a lot, so
Yeah.
because their stadium's going to be shut down the whole year. It's going to take a whole year to redo it.
Right.
So, and then the Yankees are using them fancy turbo bats, fancy.
Yeah, but
Fancy
only I
bat.
think what 3 of them are. I mean, the
Yeah,
Mets are
not
using
all of
them
them are.
too. So
Yeah, there's other teams. They said a lot more teams are probably going to get on board with it in the next coming month or so. Like it's probably going to be a thing that we'll see a lot more.
Weird.
So they're not
They just
cheating.
look weird.
no.
Yeah,
They're
I
not.
watched a whole thing about it. I watched the MLB channel had a thing about it because obviously it's like the top trending topic right now in baseball. And then
Mhm.
Pat McAfee had on Sean Casey, and he broke it down. I think a lot better than I've seen lately, on how these like what the bats are actually doing. Like
Mhm.
it's pretty cool. It's like he said like the short version, like they take the batters, they put them in a batting cage, and they have them swing at a bunch of pitches. And what they do is they see where the ball tends to hit the bat.
Mhm.
So they're like, oh, well, if this is the way you swing and the ball's hitting the bat more in the middle, then let's move the thickness of the bat, the sweet spot, down to where the ball hits the bat. Like it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Like why have the thickness of the bat all the way at the end where nobody ever really hits the ball from?
Right.
So the bats are still weighing the same. There's no there's no anything that's illegal. So they said that they'll and the thing is too is it's not even Louisville Slugger, obviously the number one, baseball bat maker.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This isn't even them, it's some other like I don't know if it's like a second company that's now moving into baseball with these bats. So I don't know. It should be intriguing. I said the Pirates obviously need some.
I mean, it looks like they bought bats off of fucking Timu, and that's what they got. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's
I
just
was
me
just talking
looking.
we were just talking about this last night at bowling. Like obviously the Pirates came up when you're a bunch of around the guys. Baseball was the topic, and I said it looked like we were just out there fucking swinging at flies. Like there was no, like they're just swinging bug catchers at a fucking fly, swarm. Like they're just swinging at anything. Like I'm like, if we can get the batters to calm down, focus, do their thing, get the pitching to calm down, get some guys back healthy. Like I said, 500 I'm shooting for. Anything over that is a bonus.
I mean, that that's deep. I hope it works. I mean,
Trying
I
to stay
hope it does.
positive.
Because I
Home
mean,
openers tomorrow.
that's the only time you see like Yinzers excited is literally tomorrow. It'll be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, and then like say they could fucking lose every fucking game, but if they win tomorrow, oh man, there's gonna be a
You'll never
fucking.
hear the end of it.
You'll never hear the end of it. It'll be a fire in the streets downtown. It'll be anarchy.
Fuck
Like
right. We beat the Yankees with the turbo bats.
McFadden's will be just torn down, lit on fire. Shit goes crazy. I mean,
Hey, we've been down there. I mean, I've been in. I mean, this is the first year in a while that I haven't been to opening day, but I mean, even there was a few times where I didn't have a ticket to get in, and me and you went down and just like McFadden did or Barr hung out down there, and yeah, it's some
it's
shit.
quite the experience to say the least. Like
Yeah,
if you like as a Pittsburgher, if you have your Pirates fans and then you have your like Bucko fans, and then like you get people that are just like, I'm just going to fucking drink because this fucking experience is crazy.
yeah,
So that's more or less why I would go, and then like to watch it all unfold. Yeah, it's straight chaos, and it brings the city together for a day. But
Mhm.
then like you and I were there like during postseason.
yeah. We went for the postseason. Yeah,
And that was wild just to experience it in like McFadden's. But like it's so funny, it's like night and day. Like regardless win or lose tomorrow, that next game at PNC Park, it's like crickets. Like there's
well, especially too because it's gonna get rained out more likely. So
I wouldn't doubt it. I
It's
mean, I
supposed to
have no
storm
doubt.
like it. They have just enough good weather to probably get in the game tomorrow, and then Saturday and Sunday's games are torrential downpours probably.
I also think it's hilarious that opening day is on like a fucking Friday for Pittsburgh, and I'm like, yeah, that just gives the Yinzers a fucking something to fucking. You know what? We'll start here. We'll see the game. We'll go down to South Side. We'll head over McFadden's. That just anywhere is going to be chaotic tomorrow.
Yeah, especially too because it'll definitely lead into because it has a special start time.
Yeah.
They start at 4:12, so you figure 2-3 hours. You're looking at like seven,
Right.
7ish. That's like prime time for people to start hitting the nightlife.
I mean, if it starts at 4:12, the city's starting at like noon, like
Yeah.
hands down. I
Well,
mean,
especially too because they already said like I was watching the news yesterday, and they were already saying like they were interviewing like some business owners and that down on the North Shore, and they were already saying that they're already seeing like the Yankee fans are already in town,
yeah,
like
that's legit.
so like that they're already in town like filling up hotels and shit like that. So yeah, this and it's like you said too, the fact that it's a weekend, you know, is gonna make it busy down there. I would avoid the North Shore at all costs this weekend.
So basically, you all watch this on a Friday, which means the game is today. So don't be dickheads.
Yeah,
All I'm telling you. All right, go enjoy the game. If you're too fucking drunk, get an Uber home. Don't do nothing stupid, and just don't make Yinzers look like Yinzers. All right, like don't make us look fucking bad. Okay. Meanwhile, there's gonna be somebody fucking doing something stupid. There's gonna be people kicked out. Southside's gonna be atrocious. And hey, we'll be on the fucking news. Like that's how it's gonna go. Something's gonna happen in the South Side. We'll be on the fucking news all
oh,
over.
they was already. I drove through the South Side this afternoon. This afternoon. Oh, I guess you can call it that. Coming home from work, and the 5-0s already had them. They already had them. Like they was on the one cop was up on the sidewalk. Like he had the squad car up on the sidewalk, right down by Jack's. And I was
Typical.
like, like,
But I mean, tomorrow they'll be all out in full fucking force. Like,
yeah,
so if you're listening, you go to East Carson tonight. Good luck. That's all I'm telling you. Like,
yeah,
have fun with all that because that is not my. That's a shit show.
I'm too
yeah.
old for
That's it.
that shit.
Yeah.
Like
No.
I wanted to tell you about this when we were out the other night. But then I figured I'd save it for today. So last week, so as you know, like I'm on the South Side every day now. It's where I park, catch shuttle bus for work. In the mornings, it's not so bad. You know, it's deliveries are being made, typical business type of morning.
That's me.
But
That's more than
but
me.
you get the fucking you get the early walk of the fucking meth zombies.
Oh
They're
yeah.
they're strolling out of the gutters, and I was right at the intersection where Nakama is and Cambodian
Yeah.
kitchen and that.
Cambodian kitchen.
Yeah, I'm right there at the intersection. Where I caught the red light, and there was some type of work truck, like a pickup truck, a work truck, in front of me, and the light turns green and he gets ready to go. He slams on the brakes. Thankfully, I didn't let my foot like I have the those newer cars, the fucking stall
Emergency
engine shit.
stoppers.
So
Yeah.
I didn't get even a chance to like go, or I would have rear-ended him. And I'm like, what the fuck? There is, and now there's a PAT bus stopped in the middle of the intersection. I'm like, oh great, PAT bus ran over somebody. Close. There is this homeless guy dressed in a leopard print outfit. Like
Let's fucking go. Let's
this
go.
was this wasn't like I'm trying to be nice here. Like I don't think I would consider this guy like a transgender. Like I think this was like an old school cross dresser. And again, he's homeless, so he's like maybe that's all he had, He saw Barb's outfit laying on the cart, so he took it, Like I don't know. but this was like a furry, almost like a jacket with a mini skirt leopard print.
Oh my god.
Blonde wig, cocked to the side. It wasn't even on straight. Cocked to the side.
So it was like this?
Yeah.
Let's
Doing
fucking
ballet,
go.
doing ballet twirls in the middle of the fucking intersection.
Yes.
I think he came off the corner, right there, the corner on the side where, well, I guess that's the side where the Rex used to be, or whatever it is
Yeah.
now, or whatever. So that corner, he came off of there like as if he was crossing to Nakama, and that's where that truck must have almost killed him. And now he's dancing in front of the Pat bus. The Pat bus driver is hanging out the window, screaming at him, "Get the fuck out of the road, you piece of shit!" I'm like, I'm just trying to get down the street to go to work. Like, can we just go around him? Like, but anytime he was like, he knew anytime somebody would try to let off the brake and go, he would move over in front of that vehicle and start dancing. And as soon as the bus tried to go, he was dancing in front of the bus. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking be late for my shuttle. Like this
But
motherfucker.
like, how do you explain that when you go into work? Be like, Eric, you're 15 minutes late. Well, you had fucking Pete over here fucking pirouetting in the middle of the fucking
Yeah.
street. And I couldn't nobody could get past him. But I tell you, man, his fucking balance was gracious. Like,
It was
I tell
no,
you
it was
what,
not gracious. I thought he was face planting a couple
dude,
times.
I bet you when he spun around, it was like he was
Yeah.
looking at the concrete.
Like he thought he was dancing on the edge, but he wasn't. It was flat ground. Like there was. I'm just like, what the fuck? I mean, and just again, like I'm trying not to be rude. Like it's sad that this person obviously was dealing with, obviously a mental state,
And
and
still
they're
is.
obviously homeless or whatever. But like, just I mean, filthy from head to like one of them homeless that you just know they've been on the streets for a long time. And I did kind of feel bad, but I'm also just like, move, motherfucker. Like, come on.
Nah,
But then I was also entertained. Like, I mean, it's a free show in the morning. Like, I mean, I didn't have to pay the ticket to get in. Like,
no, I mean, like, I agree. Because, like,
I was trying to coordinate the radio with his dance moves to see if I could
I would have
time
did the
something
same
up.
fucking thing. I'd have been like, "Yo, what can hit right now for this?"
Yeah. Maybe
What?
put on that Kendrick, see if he can bust a move to the Kendrick.
Oh, he probably fucking would have. But I'm like, you know what, man? Old fucking Pete seems like a nice 9 kills kind of motherfucker. Give me
Yeah.
one damn second,
Next thing I know, there been some other homeless behind him. They were like, not like us.
right? Then it start moving in fucking sync. I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, it's synchronized fucking ballet. Look at this.
Well, fuck Super Bowl halftime show right here in Carson.
Yeah, what do you know about Carson Street? At fucking 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning. Shit.
I
Like,
think the bus driver finally like got irritated and got on like the radio and must have called in for like Port Authority police or whoever he could.
yeah.
But eventually the guy did make it back to the curb, and at least me and the truck that was in front of me were able to move. I don't know if how long the bus ever had to wait.
So what you're describing is like how you were describing him, like the leopard suit and all that with like the
Yeah.
all it made me think of is Sam, that dude that was in that suit that, at the fucking bar crawl.
Oh my god, yes.
Just, everybody's in green and this dude's in like this goldish fucking suit thing going on, and we're all like,
Did I miss that guy?
"Yes, you did."
Oh, was it
We,
before?
yeah, it was before, but we were walking, and I just was like looking, and I was like dead
Yeah.
ass straight ahead.
Because we were walking that way, and he was coming in the
He was
opposite
like
direction,
he
like
was
head
coming
on.
towards us, so we were walking, and I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god," and then like Sam like looks over, and then she's like, "Oh my god." I was like, "Yeah, there we go." Like it was just out of this world. Like it's Southside, so I
Yeah.
was taking into consideration where I'm like, "Whew, all right, there's a stunner." Like basically,
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, obviously we've had our fair share of Southsides. I know what I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? But it's like 7:15 in the morning. I was not expecting Pete in the fucking leopard print. You
hey,
know,
yeah,
twirling across the goddamn street like he was in fucking Black Swan. I mean, he looked black. Like, I mean, he was white, dude. Don't get me wrong, but
he
he
was
was
probably
dirty. Like,
dirty as shit.
yeah,
You know
I
what
was
he
like,
was singing in
shit.
his head? He was like, "All I'm thinking of is I had the time of my life." That's what he's
Yeah.
doing. He's doing dirty dancing. He's trying to jump on the bus. Like, Like
He'd have
shit.
busted out the Patrick Swayze. It'd have been over. I'd have probably
Right?
gave him $1.
But he just hits the windshield. All you see is his face and
Yeah.
leaves a spot.
No, it was like I said, Southside, and then in the afternoons, it's like at that point, like when I'm on my way home, the meth heads have like had the opportunity to be out all day, so now they're like all out stumbling the street, and it's like,
All of a sudden, you feel like you're watching The Walking Dead.
yeah, that's why I say that. That's why I call them meth zombies. Like,
They just come out there, just like, okay, well, we're
yeah,
fine. But you know where they don't go? Mario's.
no,
Boom.
they don't.
Boom.
I mean, he was headed in that direction. I don't know.
That motherfucker wasn't going to no damn Mario's. No, but trust me, that dude was not going to no Mario's. I don't think I've seen anybody remotely go in there. And I was like, I do that. I pass there all the time.
Yeah,
But, you know, to each his own. But
so Jane also does our physical therapy down on the south side at the Steelers facility. And so when we're done in the evenings, it's about 7 o'clock by the time we're rolling through the south side. And there's this group right there. I almost wonder. They're right by that new bar that they were trying to get us to go into. That Bird on the Run. Remember some of Jen's people went in there and they said it was weird as shit. So
Yeah, I
that
remember
they're
block,
that.
trying to get people to go to a chicken spot to have a beer.
yeah, but then they said they went in and dude was in fucking leather chaps and shit.
Yeah, again, I digress. Who goes into a chicken spot for a beer?
I
Like
don't know.
it's like
But
come with me, kids. I got candy. Like
yeah, kind of. I mean, but so no, so that corner right there, I think there's like a boot, like I don't know, one of those cheesy, so like a Boost Mobile or something on the corner.
it's something like a prepaid, yeah.
Yeah, one of those prepaid things. So we're on our way home. Me and Jane call them that's Donna's people because Donna spots them every time. There's this group of dudes just hanging on the corner. Now they don't look like they're causing trouble or anything, and they're grown ass men like us. You know what I mean? Like they're just chilling. You know, like old school, just chilling on the corner. But they're all wearing tracksuits. Now, mind you, these tracksuits are in neon tie dye.
Okay.
I want to know what the hell it is. I almost want to stop and be like, what's going on here? Like, I'm just curious. I'm not here to cause problems. Like, what's with the
Till they hit you
tracksuit?
with till they hit you with like a European accent, and then all of a sudden you'll be like, makes sense, got it,
Yeah,
totally. All right,
I
I'm on
feel
board.
like fucking Bert Kreischer all of a sudden. It's
I'll be like, you
goddamn.
know what? Be like, what's it do you? Be like, get the we're good. I'm good. I'm good. You know
But
what?
it's like, and it's all different. Like, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, also you say tracksuit, I almost think like Goodfellas. You know what I mean? Like, I think some Italian mafia type shit. But like, these dudes don't look anything like they're some kind of gang or like crew. Like, I mean, they're a crew, obviously, but I don't know what. Like,
You just
it,
want to know what they're all about.
yeah, and there's like 6 or 7 of them, like just chilling.
And Sam, you might as well say goodbye to Eric because this is the last time we saw him because he's
I
gonna get
know, right?
murdered by the tie
He's
dye,
gonna show up in a tie-dye tracksuit, be like, "What's up, guys?"
right?
I'm
He's
part of the
gonna get
crew now.
murdered by like the tie dye thieves. They're on the run. Like,
Illuminati.
yeah, yeah, but they're in fucking tie dye tracksuits.
I don't know. It's like I'm like, you know, so like I said, Donna's the one that spotted him the first time or two, and I'm like, the first time I didn't see it, so I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? Second time she says it, and I'm like, okay, I saw one guy, or maybe two, and then we drove by again because we do that. We're like it's like 2 or 3 times a week we come home from therapy, and I'm like, and finally Jane was like, no, Dad, seriously, there's a group of dudes in these crazy sweatsuits or whatever, and I'm like, oh, so we just started calling them Donna's people because she's the one that spots them all the time.
It's Donna's tie dye fucking crew. You don't know this, but your wife's the ringleader, bro. You don't know.
Probably
You
it's
don't
her
know
people.
this. That's why she just keeps. She's like, "Well, look now. Then there's two. Then look again. There's six. Now all of a sudden they're on both sides. And you're just like, why the fuck does this keep adding up? Like, what is happening? Meanwhile,
We just
Donna's
we
orchestrating this at the whole time.
Well, the other day when we went to therapy, Donna didn't go with us, and we're driving down, and Jane's passenger seat. She's like, "Dad, Mom's people are out." I was like, "Okay."
You have to do more investigating on the tie-dye bandits and find out.
I don't think they're bandits. I don't know. Like I'm expecting like they're like maybe they're like a dance crew and they're gonna go on like America's Got Talent or something. Like that's what it reminds me of. Like
The next one's to block the road.
Maybe they're
like I don't know.
flash mob, bro.
They don't look homeless. I mean, these are some brandy new fucking tracksuits. Like they're not shambles.
Well, they're raised on East Carson Street, so you know there's a hookup for tie-dye somewhere.
Somewhere.
Like
It's like
it's there.
crazy. They're black. They're like primarily black, and then they just have these like. It's not even maybe tie dye. It's almost like that. Like you'll see like wallpapers and stuff for like your phone and that. Like that. They call them like the galaxy, like the starry cloud
Mm-hmm.
type.
Yeah.
But it has all those like bright blues and purples and pinks and stuff in it. Like that's kind of what it reminds me of.
Maybe they're selling fucking drugs.
I thought maybe they were promoting for the cell phone place, but none of them's holding the sign for the cell phone place, so I don't know.
I feel like because I could be very like, I don't know, I could be very like giddy sometimes. So my dumb ass would probably walk by and be like, "Oh my god, your jumpsuit, so fucking cute. Where'd you get
I know.
them?"
That's kind of how I
Before
feel.
you know
Like
it, I'm like abducted.
Right, and that's how it is. They'll be like, "Come here, little one. Let's see this. Do this." And then all of a sudden, there went Sam.
it's like a cult.
Like then Sam like comes on the podcast. She's like, I answer 4 questions. I leave. I'm like, what the fuck is? Meanwhile, she's in a whole fucking tie-dye fucking tracksuit. I'm like, they fucking got you, didn't they, Samantha? Didn't they? I don't know what you're talking about, Paul. Like, you know what I mean?
What happens with the tie-dye tracksuit stays with the tie-dye tracksuit.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So now
we'll
we're
find
gonna
out.
have people that watch it and listen to this podcast that live in Pittsburgh. They're gonna be driving through the South Side, just be like, "Anybody see them motherfuckers?"
I'm telling you, Southside, 7 o'clock. What's across? I think it's like right across from there's that big PNC Bank on the corner,
Okay.
on the opposite corner. But it's like right there at that intersection. And then Fatheads is like right there too. It's that intersection where like Fatheads and that is.
Yeah, Fatheads. It's like the is that Einstein Bagels?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's like right there. And they're always chilling on the corner right outside that cell phone place.
Well,
Just chilling on the stoop.
well, not the 3 of us, but if anybody wants to go do their research, get back to us. Let me know how it is. And you know what? If you say you're gonna do it, and I don't hear from you, I don't need to know no more.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best of luck if you figure it out. All right. Just a little rapport goes a long way. But if we don't hear from that person ever again, hey, RIP. It was worth it. Thank you very much for your feedback. All right. Word. Plain simple. Goodbye. See ya. So of course, I gotta talk with Eric about, Val Kilmer dying, bro.
Yeah, that was a little rough. That was a little rough.
I woke up at like 2 in the morning because, of course, I have my amazing upstairs neighbor who is restless and can't sleep and is stomping around at every hour. So I woke up and I was like, of course, death scrolling Facebook, and that kept popping up, and I seriously thought I was dreaming. I was like, no, this can't be. I like did a whole Google thing just to clarify whether or not it was true. I was not ready for that.
I'm saying this nicely. I honestly thought he already died. Like he was so sick. Like because he did that cameo appearance in the last Top Gun.
Mm-hmm.
He had that that little moment with
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
And that was kind of like the last time you've seen him in any, like there was no paparazzis, no obviously he's not doing appearances or anything like that. So I feel like, and you figure that was how many, like 2 years ago now that Top Gun came out, if not longer, maybe, I don't know. But it's just like, so, and I knew he was really, like the cancer had really like taken its toll on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that like, so when, like you said, like it was breaking news that I got up for work that morning and I'm like, oh shit, he was still alive. Like, oh wow. Like I was kind of like, oh, like surprised, but in a like, wow, he lasted that long, like I thought he had already passed and I just forgot about it.
I don't remember where I saw it, but one of his kids said that after he was diagnosed with throat cancer and like going through the treatment, he started actually like video recording, like video journaling himself and his
Yeah.
life. And he actually like because he felt like since he wasn't able to talk, that was his way of remembering things and like just being able to, keep track of everything.
Yeah, they were showing some photos. I think it was like the Today Show again that morning had, a memorial thing about it. And there were some photos of him like right here, like towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, ugh, like he looks so bad. It almost reminded me of like the way Christopher Reeve looked at the like before he died, how sick he was and just so skinny. And I don't know. I mean, it's always that weird, celebrity deaths coming. They say in general, celebrity or deaths come in
Deaths come
three,
in
but it's
threes.
like,
Yeah.
but celebrity deaths definitely like come in a group,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's just like we lost Gene Hackman a few weeks ago, like you know, uh, which I'm like, for me, I don't know, like, and I don't know how big Paul was. Definitely don't know. Same with you. Like, I was, I don't want to say secretively, like, I on like a side note was like into like westerns, like a little bit of like some old school like John Wayne or some like Clint Eastwood stuff like that. Just because I grew up around it, like my grandfather and uncle were really into that stuff, so it was like always on the TV. But like, I really liked like, um, uh oh my god, like Unforgiven and the Wyatt Earp story and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Val Kilmer was in that. Gene Hackman was in
Mm-hmm.
that. Like I'm like losing the fucking cowboy guys. Like come on. Like
My
Yeah.
favorite was that he played Jim Morrison in the movie The
And
Doors.
the Doors.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he was so good in that too. Like and everybody kept talking about oh he was a bat and I'm like don't say Batman, don't say Batman because that was one of the worst Batman movies
It
they
was
made.
one
Like
of the worst Batmans. You
and
had
then
great
like and I hate
villains.
that he's like tagged to it. I hate that all those actors were tagged to it because that was the one with um
Jim Carrey.
J-
Um,
and
Arnold.
Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like so it's like
The Arnold and Uma Thurman one. That's George
oh
Clooney.
that was Clooney. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, like you said, that was Tommy Lee and the Riddler was the
Yep.
Batman Forever.
Yep.
Which it's like again, great cast, but just so
This wasn't done
cheesy.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's
And
like I hated that. Like I seen a lot of people like oh yeah, he was Batman. It's like okay.
no.
There was so much other stuff that he did that he doesn't get like I don't
Yeah.
want to say he
Like,
doesn't get credit for. He just doesn't get recognized or remembered for.
but the
Mm-hmm.
two things that there's probably three right off the top. Well, four is there's Batman, there's the
Yeah,
Doors, there's
yeah,
Tombstone, and
yeah.
then
Tombstone. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah,
there's Tombstone, and then there's also Top Gun. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
bang, right off the bat. You know what
There
I
was a
mean?
few other things that again the Today Show had mentioned, or like again going through like his movie history, and I was like, oh, he was in that. Like I forgot he was in that. You know what I mean? He's one of those like because yes, he played star roles. Like obviously he played Batman. You know what I mean? Like he had the main character or the main star in a lot of movies, but there was tons of movies that he was just an extra or just just
Mm-hmm.
had a small part. I mean, like Tombstone, like that movie. I guess you can mainly say was more based around Kevin Costner, like you know, or no, that
Kurt
wasn't was
Russell,
that Kurt Russell? Yeah, yeah. Um, but he played such a good
Doc Holliday, bro.
Doc Holliday. And one of the things too was they said that like a lot of that wasn't. Well, I guess back then they didn't really use CGI as much, or whatever. But there was no movie magic to that. That he was such a method actor that he lost all of the weight. So like when he started getting sick in the movie, when his character started getting sick in the movie, he put himself through that to look the part
Mm-hmm.
for real. Like he didn't want to be doctored up
Yeah.
to play the part. So I'm like, that's crazy, And I think that was one of his better roles that
Oh my god.
one of my favorites.
And that's one of the things about him that'll live on. Do you know how many times I'll go past an Instagram reel
Oh
and it's
yeah,
the tombstone scene where
Mhm.
he's like, "Not me, I'm in my prime."
yeah.
I see that more frequently than probably anything.
And
Like,
then anytime I see his face too, one like you said, and it's from Tombstone. I mean, besides Top Gun, I can remember especially the bar scene with him and you know what I mean, like, but anytime I seen his face, like you said, if I was scrolling through social media or something, I'd always scroll past him like, "You're a Huckleberry." I'm
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
that was a key line throughout the whole movie. Like he just always kept telling him, "I'm your
I'm your
Huckleberry," like,
Huckleberry.
which basically said like we're getting in some shit together, like like.
Yeah, right.
So
But
that was sad. I mean, like I said, for as sick as he was and the cancer, like in a way, it's just like anybody that goes through that stuff. You're kind of glad that it's over and they're not suffering or dealing with it anymore. But it just still sucks.
yeah.
Like Gene Hackman. Like I didn't know Gene Hackman. Like I knew he was old, but he's another one that kind of secretively disappeared until
Mhm.
he died, and then he died, and then all those like paparazzi photos came out of like him and his wife in town shopping and stuff, and I'm like, he was so unrecognizable. Like he was so sick and so. Uh,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Another one I'm worried about is Bruce Willis. Like what that guy's
Oh
gonna
God, yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Willis. That I see updates on like Instagram all the time, and
like
I'm
his
like,
wife
man,
and daughter always update
yeah.
like the
Mhm.
media and stuff like that.
But I tell people though, if you want like a crazy deep cut from Val Kilmer, like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with him and Robert Downey Jr. is
Oh
fuck.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's an incredible fucking movie.
yeah,
Like, because Downey's starting to get his stuff back together because he was going through so much shit,
yeah.
and like he's getting himself great. And I think after that is when he did that movie with Halle Berry. That's like the Gothica movie.
Oh
That's
yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. And then like just him and fucking Val Kilmer in this movie are incredible. So
Another one that Val Kilmer doesn't get a lot of credit for because there was such big stars in the movie that again he wasn't even a secondary character. He was almost like was Heat.
oh yeah, bro. He was
Mhm.
fucking great and he
And
like
I just because all this stuff's coming out, well, about him now, and I remember like I love that movie. And they were saying how they were re-showing the clip, the main shootout from the heist,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they were showing it was more like highlights, and like they almost like did it in slow mo, like like as if you're breaking down like a football play or something.
Yeah.
And they were showing how he maneuvered through that scene and ducked and dodged and hid behind cars, and the way he handled that machine gun shooting and taking out people. They said that they actually ended up using that part of the movie to train in the military because he did it so perfect that they said that they were like, we want we want people to do that because it was so by the book, it was so good. And they said that's because he went and studied for that. When he knew that scene was going to be part of the movie, he went again and method acted and studied, and
Yeah.
like, and they said he did it so perfect, and I'm like, damn. Like,
Fucking Val Kilmer, bro.
but you got De Niro and Pacino and
Yeah.
whoever else in that movie, like, you kind of forget that he's in there.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But like some of us do, but some of us don't. Like
Yeah,
that's one of those movies where it's like, yeah, and I know Val Kilmer is in that fucking movie.
yeah.
But my thing is, I always can't remember if it's Val Kilmer or George Clooney. Who did we get bat nipples with in
Wait,
this
what?
on
Oh,
the
that
bat
was. I think
suit?
that was Val. I think that was Val Kilmer's.
Yeah, Val Kilmer's bat suit had bat nipples.
Oh, that
Yeah.
too. Okay, okay. You kind of broke up a bit, and I thought you said back nipples, and I was like, what the fuck?
I thought you just got intrigued because I said the word nipple.
I think he kind of did.
She said,
I
"Who
think
gave him back nipples?" And I was like, "What the fuck are back nipples?"
Hey,
Now,
maybe
No,
people
that
got
was.
back nipples.
I think because what they did was they tried to over detail the bat
The
suit
suit. And they gave him some bat nipples, not back nipples.
because it was like the abs were too cut out. Like it was just too detailed. I mean, there might have been back nipples in that suit. We just maybe didn't see them.
I tell you what, if somebody ever meets me and says I watched the podcast, by the way, I have back nipples, I'll be like, I need to see it. I was like, proof or it never fucking happened. I need to record it too, because I'm gonna put it on the show. Be like, this motherfucker named fucking Eugene got fucking back nipples. Here they are. Ta-da! Like, fucking say it. This is great.
Maybe he did have back nipples and they distracted us with the front nipples, so we never saw the back nipples.
Because the cape is covering it, so you know, and it was just
Yeah, and if maybe they would have let us known there was back nipples, the movie would have been a little more interesting.
maybe we would have been a little bit more sympathetic, like, oh, you know, it's all good. I mean, he got back nipples, you know.
Could you imagine? I'm just picturing this now. Could you imagine if it was like seriously like a surprise thing? Like there were nipples on the back of that bat suit, and they just like in the moment didn't tell him. Let Jim Carrey as the Joker respond naturally to the
Oh,
bat
as the
suit.
Riddler, yeah, just be like,
Yeah, that would have probably been one of the best like outtakes, but they should have left it in the movie whatsoever. Like him just, what the fuck are those?
yeah,
Like,
right. And then he looks at him, he's like, wow, are those back nipples?
like I could just see him like returning into an old like in Living Color character of some kind and just going off on the back nipples.
Or he does like the Ace Ventura where he's like,
Yeah,
nipples.
he'd have
Yeah, that'd be fucking great.
bent over and started talking out of his ass.
Excuse me, are those back nipples?
Yeah.
That would have been fucking great. Oh my god. So, I watched uh again, I see something and I'm like, maybe I'll research it for the podcast. I end up watching like the Logan Paul show.
Oh.
Did you see or hear anything about this shit?
Oh, I
I
knew it was
know.
come. I knew of it, but I'm not
Yeah.
watching it.
Okay.
Same.
So I thought, because Eric, you know, you and I are WWE fans, I thought they
Yeah.
would just touch a little bit on the
No,
WWE.
this is about him and his brother and like their.
Dude,
It's like their version of the Kardashians.
it really is. I was sitting there watching this dumpster fire of a fucking show, and I'm going, why am I still watching it? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why am I captivated by it? And I'm just sitting there going, and I'm looking at Brandy, and I'm like, why?
Someone changed
Why
the channel.
am I still here? Like, you know what I mean? And like something was drawing me into it because like it was telling the stories about them. And of course, like their origins on Vine, and I have a connection to Vine. So I was like intrigued by that part, like how they got so famous so quick.
Yeah.
And then I was watching the douchebaggery happen, and I'm going like, you fucking kidding me? Like, you know what I mean? I was just like, but I'm already invested a good 20 minutes and it's 40 minutes. I was like, I'm not
Mhm.
just sit here for the rest of fucking 20 minutes. So it's it's chaos. It is like the Kardashians, but it's what of course with their family, you know, and you get like an inside look with like um Logan's wife and Jake's girlfriend. You kind of feel bad for these fucking women because they're dealing with these two fucking imbeciles.
Yeah.
And then you meet the dad.
Oh.
And yeah, that this dude looks like I said it about the bats earlier, but this dude looks like you bought Crocodile Dundee literally off Temu. He
Oh.
has the fucking hat. He has the fucking big, huge fucking leather wristbands. He looks
Oh.
like an old 1990s WWF character. Like, and he's telling, like, he's getting like real political and shit. And like my dad's like, no, don't do that shit. Like we're trying to pitch a show here. I don't give a fuck, blah blah blah. And all of a sudden I went, that's where I'm tuned into now.
yeah.
Fucking crocodile Timu Dundee over here. I was like, you
Dad
fucking
needs his
got me,
own spinoff show.
dude. And then he was sitting there like, motherfuck this and fuck that. And I was like, oh yeah, you got me. Like I'm locked. And I was sitting there because he was like, I fucking hate mainstream Hollywood. I was like, keep it fucking going. Let's fucking go. Let's see what else you could keep stirring up and shit. And he was just like, yeah, fuck that. And you should fire your fucking agent. I was like, dude, this guy's on a warpath. All he needs to do is pull out a knife and be like, that's not a knife. Like, that's all he needed to do. And the episode ended, and I felt so dumb that I just invested that much time into that. Like when it was
Isn't it
over,
on
I
Netflix?
felt dumber. It's on Max.
Oh, on Max. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But when I was done, I legit felt dumber. But
Yeah.
the only thing I pulled away from it was like, that dad's going to get his ass beat by somebody. Like, for real. But it's. I got asked first if I watched it, and I was like, yeah, I'm talking about it on this week's podcast. And then I'm thinking, I hope that this person doesn't want me to praise it because I'm not. Like I'm no, there's no praising. I'm just like, this show sucks. Like this
Yeah.
show sucks. Until I got to dad, then I was like, ooh, okay. Then I was like, cool. He's the like the drama of the show. And I was like, that guy's gonna be famous. Especially with that fucking outfit. I mean, I don't give a fuck. Never watched the show. But if you can get to the clip where you see him, yes. Yes.
I'll have to
Because
fast forward to it.
he has like I don't know if it's a button-up shirt or a regular shirt, but they cut to him a couple times. And he has like it looks like I swear I thought it was like a shark tooth necklace. I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. I was like, this is fucking the craziest shit I've ever seen. And then like they show their mom, and their mom's a very, you know, normal woman, like the girl next door, like the mom next door.
Wait, who the fuck? How'd she marry that guy?
Dude, I don't know, but then you go to fucking Crocodile Dundee over here, and I'm like, how did? Oh, you can tell why they're separated. This fucking guy over here. But yeah, like when I got done, dude, I feel like I lost brain cells because I was like, this could be a shit show. But then I'm thinking this is what the future of fucking America wants is these two fucking jokes having a fucking TV show. And I'm like, ugh, God. So
I
no.
watched that Twister one on Netflix. That was pretty good. The one about the Joplin tornado.
Oh yeah. It's in my queue.
Did you see, Paul? I was thinking of you. They announced it on McAfee. They announced it on McAfee show. Well, I thought of you and your dad. They.
Aw.
I'm thinking of you and your dad. It's got to be intriguing. McAfee announced it on his show. They like released the trailer of this new Netflix series. It's from the people that did like the F1 documentary.
Okay.
They're doing a horse racing one.
Oh God.
It's called the Race to the Crown. It looks really good because it's like it's the build up to the Kentucky Derby. So like all of the small races that nobody ever gets to like see
Yeah.
that these horses have to win to be able to qualify for the Derby.
Okay.
So it's like about that world, like that part of horse racing that nobody ever really gets to see. And they said it, and they were showing that that one main horse owner guy, he got suspended for the doping thing.
Okay, yeah. I can't put it. My dad would know. And
Yeah, I if I hear the name, I know it, but I'm picturing his face. But it's his first year back, and he's like one of the main parts of the documentary series. Like, and he's like, and they said that if everything goes the way it should during these prelims,
yeah.
he might end up with like 3 or 4 horses in the Derby this year. So they were like, he's coming back, and that former baseball player that owns horses with the long hair. He's like a real character. He's like him and his like people. I guess you could say. I don't want to say company, but him and his other horse owner. And then there's a part of it. I guess there's going to be like maybe I don't know if it's sprinkled through or just one episode where they interview and talk just to the jockeys.
Okay.
And they like tease you with this one clip of this one jockey. He was like, "I'd rather die out there on a horse than die in a car."
Don't let my dad watch that right now.
And I'm like, no, I mean, yeah,
That's a little too soon. My dad would be like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, no, but it looks really cool. Like, I mean, I might check it out.
I mean, if I tell him I lost my dad, like
I think
until
it
it's
comes
over.
out. I think it comes out like the middle of this month, like in like a week or two,
Oh, great.
and it's on Netflix. It's yeah, I think it's called The Race to the Crown or something to the Crown.
Yeah, that'll be my dad. If I tell him about it, be like, "When's it coming out? What you know about it? Does it have to? Is there any harness race in it? I don't know. I don't know
No, I
anything
don't.
about it."
I don't think there's harness racing. It's mainly about the other, like just the general horse racing.
Yeah.
Like I said, those smaller races. Because I didn't know this. Like in the documentary, they tell you about it. Like or like even in the trailer, they kind of explain like it's the little races that like what place you finish in, you get points, and that's
Yeah.
the more points you have, the more that's how you get into the derby. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that shit. I just thought you just ran and got in. Like I didn't know.
No,
I didn't know there
There's
was a
like,
fucking scoring system behind
yeah,
it.
there's like, my grandfather used to break it down. It was almost like they did like a prelim, and it's kind of like
Yeah.
not kind of how NASCAR does it now. Like,
Yeah. Yes.
follow NASCAR or people that do. Like that's the only reason. That's the only thing I know really about NASCAR
Yeah.
is like they do that the point system, and they kind of got that off of horse racing. So it's kind of like that
Uh,
same. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, if you want to go to the playoffs or whatever, this horse has to win so many points, and they get like then they rank them.
Mhm.
That's how it
I
goes.
learned that when I lived in Philly. I used to work at a very like fancy country club, and the Kentucky Derby was a big thing. And I remember I became friends with a lot of the I guess clients. I don't know what you would call them. You know, the members. That's it, the
Yeah, the
members of the
members.
club.
yeah.
And they like broke it down. They explained to me exactly that. They were like, "No, you have to have a certain amount of points. You need to do this." Like I was like, "Oh, okay."
I didn't know if like I guess not. I don't know like the part of New York like, but like I guess because New York has the what the hell's their track called up there?
The
It's
Belmont.
the Belmont.
No, not
Yeah,
the
like
Belmont. Yeah, is it the Belmont? I don't
yeah,
know. Chris
yeah,
Brown performed there last year. I went there like 3 times. Yeah.
I think it is the
yeah,
Belmont.
Yeah.
yeah. But like, so is horse racing really big? Like, is that something you hear about a lot up there because that track's up
Yes
there?
and no. Because the arena is used more for like it is used for hockey, but it is also used for the concerts. So you hear more about
Yeah.
like going for the concerts and whatnot. But like my cousin, she actually she invests in the horse racing. So I know she posts a lot. She goes up there. So I guess like if you're really into it, yes, but not a whole lot of people they're not
Yeah.
really into the horse racing aspect. They'll go there, but again, it's more for the games and the concerts.
Okay. Yeah, I just wasn't sure because, like, and I guess that's the other thing too is it's like in New York, like, there's a lot of shit to do besides. It's not like the horse racing is the only thing, the form of entertainment or something fun to do. It's where you think of like Kentucky, there ain't shit to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what they do. Like,
Mhm.
you know?
If they're not depending on fucking March, they're
Yeah.
gonna be horse racing. It's like,
I
all
mean,
right.
to give you an example, Eric, the day that I went to go see Chris Brown at the Belmont Stadium, like
Yeah.
the horse track, like literally we showed up and there was a race happening at like 3 o'clock that afternoon, and we actually saw the horses coming in, like they were bringing
Yeah.
the horses in. But when we pulled up, they were like, "Are you here for the horses or Chris Brown?" We're like, "Oh, we're for Chris Brown," and like we went in, right? I can't tell you, there were more people parked and ready for Chris Brown than what the parking lot showed for the horses.
The horses, yeah. Yeah, I just wasn't sure
That's
um
fucking great.
how that worked up there.
Because that
Like,
reminds me of
and I think that's the other thing too, is because like because that stuff, like you said, because that's where like the New York Islanders play and stuff like that. Like that's all over what on Staten Island, right? Like over by Staten Island.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to.
because I don't think it's quite on Long Island. No, it's out towards Stanton. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a little bit further away than like downtown New York, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
But that's also But that's
We
also where
didn't.
you start leaning more into like the wealthier area too.
yeah.
See, we didn't have that when the Meadows had Ludacris. That shit was fucking hilarious because I got there to service the Meadows around 1, and they had the horses running the track like warming up and shit. And race time starts at 3. But kind of to your point, Sam, people were already waiting there for Ludacris, and he was coming on at 7. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's when the concert starts. And I was like, well, nobody's gonna give a fuck about these goddamn horses today. They're gonna give a fuck
Yeah.
about Ludacris. And they're literally gonna be looking at these horses like, move, bitch, get out the way. Like we got shit to fucking watch. We ain't got time for Ludacris with fucking horse races going around them. Like we got bigger fish to fuck fry here, guy.
Well, don't they now have like I don't know if it's like an amphitheater or something out there for the concerts?
There is like a
Like I haven't been
stage.
to Meadows in a long time.
There's a stage kind of like where the grandstand sits, and you sit there and you can look where the horses are. But there's like kind of a stage in the middle ish now.
Okay, that's what. Okay, because me and Mike went there once for a concert. We went out there and saw Rush.
Okay.
Like, but it was the first time. Now at that point, that was I had been to the Meadows to the casino, like, and I'd done horse racing once, and but to go out there for a concert, I was like, isn't that stage like in the middle? Like, shouldn't where the horses run if the fucking stage? Like, I was so confused that there was just a stage randomly out on the horse. Like,
So like where the track is, as it's like circling around, it's like dead ass in the middle.
yeah,
Like just right there. And I was like, oh, okay. Because like right by it is what the winner circle. So it's like catty corner from it.
mhm.
So when like my dad has pictures of like of course all the races that he's won and whatnot, and I have one of him and Xander. And you can kind of see it off to the side of the photo where
uh,
like here's the end of it. And I'm like,
yeah,
oh, that's where these sons of bitches are.
yeah.
Got it. Makes sense. Totally makes sense.
I bet on horse racing one time. Uh, I bet $1 and I won 50 cents, and I said, "Cash me out. I'm walking away." Like I don't, because I had no fucking clue what I was doing, and I was surprised I won 50 fucking cents because my horse did. I don't. He didn't win, but he did something that qualified me to get 50 cents. So I walked away.
And more than likely, he probably showed up in trifecta. This is where it gets. I'll get off the rails because I know this shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he was probably in like other top 3, or if it was played where he can't, if that race in particular he became in like 4th, you get like half your money.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I don't know the like complete logistics of it. That's when I need the old man. Because
I
then
just
he'd be
walked
like,
up and
well,
I,
no,
I
we parlayed it and did it this. I don't know. Don't care. Did we win? Did we get money?
yeah.
I don't care.
I walked up and I told the lady, I was like, the lady at the little window, and I was like, listen, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but like, what should I do? And that was probably the wrong thing to ask because she probably could have robbed the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Um, but she was very nice, and she was like, listen, she was like, first time, just bet $1, find a horse that you like. I'll give you like kind of the top 5, like who everybody else is betting on, because
Yeah.
obviously they can't give you like tips or anything. But she was like,
Um,
these are where most of the bets are running right now. She was like, why don't you pick one of those and see who you like? And I don't even remember the fucking horse's name, but I was like, sounds cool. $1 on that guy. And I came back and I was like, I think I won something. And she was like, yep, you won 50 cents. And I was like, okay, thanks. I took that $1.50 and walked right over to a slot machine and put it in and walked away with nothing.
and just like that, that 50 cents was gone.
Yeah.
And that was your experience horse racing at the Meadows.
Yeah.
But like my dad has, oh man, from where he's bought and sold horses. So it's like in PA, actually in New York, Minnesota. Ironically, nothing in Kentucky, and I'm like, bro, like, duh, it's right there. Like,
Yeah.
um, he also bought one in like Michigan. I was like, okay, like, and then I'm like, do you go check this out? Oh no, no, no. I'm sorry. I'm not. If I want to throw my money away, I'd rather just put it in the casino. Like, and
Yeah.
you're spending like an atrocious amount of money.
Yeah, but he works with like a group of like he's not just.
Yeah, like he has.
So I'm assuming he trusts the team. Like if they go and research him, like, hey, we found this horse, da da da. Here's specs. Here's this. Here's that. I mean, he probably trusts their judgment and their opinion to.
Yeah, yeah, to a degree, and then of course. Paul Chopek Sr. is also Paul Chopek Sr. So he'll want the analytics, and then if he feels like something about it, then he wants to check it out. He wants to know more.
Mhm.
Like um his
So he
team
pulls his
here.
glass. So he pulls his glasses down and looks real close to his phone.
I don't like it. I'm gonna give him a call. What? It's like 9 o'clock at night. No answer. Okay. All right. Whatever. But like, for people, like he's doing better. He's kind of being okay. Like he's
Yeah.
starting to come around a little bit. Like, you know, getting his feet back out there. Like he's like, we got another race this weekend. I was like, wow, you just didn't skip the fucking beat, did you? Like, you know what I mean? But on this, in that same breath, he's also worried about losing another driver. Like
Mhm.
he's not,
Yeah.
he's not batting really good right now. So, you know, like, but he's been helping out like Hunter's family, like promoting anything they're doing, anything to help that family. But he's getting
Yeah.
back there. He's just kind of a little stressed right now, and I get it. You know what I mean? It makes sense,
Yeah.
especially being the owner. Like I get it, but you know, like it kind of comes with the job. Like this,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's the risk. And my
But it's
dad,
such a weird risk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and again, I don't know that much. And then I'm comparing it to something else that I know a little bit of and not a lot of. But it's like, if you wanted to compare it to like NASCAR racing, like as many times as those guys wreck and get into accidents and have the possibility of fucking dying and losing their life, like you would think that the horse racing wouldn't be as bad. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
but I mean it's still a risk. I mean you're on the back of a fucking whether you're
Mhm.
sitting on it or being pulled in one of the carts, like you're taking a
Yeah,
risk. Like
but I feel like that's with any job, really. There's always going to be some sort of risk to any job, to a point that like maybe it is so minor that you just like, you don't think about it. You're just like, it's an everyday thing. You're just like, oh, it never crosses your mind until it actually happens.
Right.
yeah, we
Until
just like oh go ahead.
I said, until there's like an incident, kind of like Hunter, where the cart rolled over him, the horse runs
Mhm.
over him, and it happens. Hi.
And like always, it's a Saturday on birthday.
What's whose birthday Saturday?
It was her birthday.
It's Killian's first birthday. It's Jamie's son's birthday.
This Saturday, like in
Yeah,
2 days. Oh,
it
okay.
like, well, this comes out tomorrow, so
Well,
Friday's.
yeah, you know what I meant. This weekend.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So Xander is super amped, because he's been trying to see like Jamie for 3 weeks, and unfortunately, with Jamie's situation,
Mhm.
like like Ashley and I have been kind of like holding Xander off, because
Yeah,
like you could tell he knows something's up with Aunt Jamie, but he hasn't
Mhm.
figured out what it is. So
yeah,
it'll be nice for him and her to see each other, and of course, like us to see him and whatnot. But
yeah,
yeah, but plus when he sees this podcast and he's here, he just kind of likes to swerve out.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, he's the fucking rock star, dude. So I mean, like he's a superstar. I'm just dad. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I've been I don't like subjects change here.
It's fine.
So the other day was autism day or whatever,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and so there was a lot of stuff on social media. You get caught up in your algorithm, especially when you post about it. It obviously starts showing up, and I've been intrigued by that girl that did Survivor. Did you see that girl,
Yes.
Eve?
The one without the
Like,
legs.
No. She was she almost looked like I mean, she was fit. She was in some shape, but she has
Okay.
I guess like Sam, you can probably explain this too. I'm guessing she was like lower end of the spectrum because she didn't seem.
Oh yeah, and she had like she had a meltdown. She was overwhelmed,
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was completely
yeah,
overwhelmed.
yeah.
yeah,
The guy,
and the
but then like
host allowed the guy to like go over and hug her.
yeah. So I read like I went because I was so intrigued by that, and I went in and did some detective work like to find like and found the backstory of it all, and it was like
Mm-hmm.
he was that guy, the other competitor guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only one that knew that she was autistic.
That's from what I understand from what I read. They used to be on the same tribe together, and they became very close. And she expressed to him what she needs in that moment. And so he was the only one who actually like really knew that she was autistic and that when
Yeah,
she's overwhelmed, like that's what she needed, which is
yeah,
why the
because they
host.
showed. I watched the video. It was like a behind the scenes. I don't think it aired obviously on the episode on the
Mhm,
show, but there was like the behind the scenes footage almost where those two they went off. She took him
mhm,
and told him on the side,
mhm,
and she said that she did that because when like you said like she got to know him,
mhm.
she found out that he was a dad and the way he like always expressed and talked about how much he cares and loves his kids and da 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 like, and she just felt that calming
Yeah.
presence with him as a parent. So that's why she said she felt the need to tell him
Mhm.
because in that like in that you know situation, somebody like because you figure if he didn't know like I also wouldn't like again trying to I still looking into it, but like I don't even know if like did Jeff know like
So
did
the host knew, and he knew about both their situation, which is
that's why
why
he
when
told
that
him to go
happens,
over.
yeah, because apparently you're not supposed to like mingle or like talk to other people from and that's
Yeah,
when the host was like, she needs you, and I could see the concern, like it's okay for you to go because he
yeah,
knew
because
her
you could see he was
situation.
pacing on with like next to his team. He was pacing like
Hmm.
she's breaking down. Like I gotta, and he knew the rules.
Hmm.
So, and then she finally opened up, I guess, at the end of that episode and told everybody
Yep.
Yeah.
the situation. And I'm just like, that's crazy. Like I don't really
Hmm.
watch Survivor. I mean, I used to back in the day, but like, episode or season 155, whatever the fuck they're on. Like I lost
Yep.
track. But it was just cool, like to see that.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy. But like, so my question to you guys is like, so she's, I guess, would you consider like a lower end of the spectrum because of the way she can, again, I don't know if I'm wording this right, but because of the way she functions or the way like, I don't know.
So, like, I have parents who still believe that it's either a low function or high function. We eliminated that out of the DSM-5. It
Okay.
is now either level 1, 2, or 3.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so I would classify her more on a level 2 with some character. I mean, a level 1 with some characteristics of a level 2. Level 3, she would be severe, like to a point that she wouldn't even be able to be on the show.
Correct. Because Xander is a level 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, and I hate doing this sometimes, but when I see stuff like again, like I said, especially in the past day or two with it being Autism Day, like again all that stuff's around on social media and stuff like that. But it was like even just in my job, we see it a lot because we have child development and that at our clinic and stuff like that. So
Right.
we cater to those kids and see those kinds of patients at our building too. But my only personal life experience is obviously with Xander.
Hmm.
So it's like when I meet somebody and they say like, "Oh, that kid's autistic," I always try to compare with him, and it's like, I know that's not fair because it's like you said, that everybody's on a different level,
Correct.
And
and I'm
that's
just
why I
like,
always remember that's why it's called a spectrum.
yeah,
There's everywhere.
And
yeah,
there's
exactly.
levels to
So
this
like,
shit too. Like
Hmm.
there is there is times where only because of personal experience going
yeah,
through the blocks, of course, his classmates, people I've been around, his social functions, all that shit. I can I have a good eye for it. Like I
Yeah.
really do. You know what I mean? And it's not where the stereotypical, well, they look autistic, their mannerisms, their
Yeah.
function, just the little things. No eye contact. They look down when they talk to you. They,
Mm-hmm.
or they flap or they stim. There's
Mm-hmm.
many characteristics to this. So
Mm-hmm.
if I see that, all of a sudden I will like gravitate towards that person and be like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, what's going on? Like, you know
And
what I
that's
mean? Like, you want to
that's
And
tell me.
that's
also where
my
a lot of education needs to come involved too. Like for an example, I started out as a behavioral therapist, and that was my primary population were ADHD and autism. So I've become very, familiar with the diagnosis and the disease and everything else. But like, I still get families who were like, "Oh, my child," or whatever. Even friends of mine who were like, "Oh, my child has autism," and they refuse to look me in the eye, and it's so disrespectful. No, 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 you don't understand. To some of them, you looking at them directly in the eye is like equivalent to somebody yelling at you directly in the face.
yeah.
Like you don't understand how overwhelmed they can get just by making that eye contact.
Right.
Yeah, and I've learned that too. Again, being around Xander all of his life, you know what I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
with with Paul. But it's like again, I see it at our clinic. So it's like I've learned between those two different situations, different things, and it's always like I feel what you're saying. Like, there's definitely not a look. Like, you can't be like, oh, that person looks autistic. Like, autistic, it's
Mm-hmm.
not like, again, I hate comparing it, but it's not like Down syndrome. You know what I mean? It's not like where you're like, oh, you can look at that person and
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, yes, they have
No.
Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like that girl, I would have never have known that she was autistic, like, until that whole
Mm-hmm.
episode, that whole situation arose.
But Eric, that's where I feel like, and I'm not calling you out in a bad way because this is like just something I'm calling out. There's so many people who say that even about depression. Well, he doesn't look depressed.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
would he kill himself? He doesn't look depressed. There is no look when it comes to behavioral or mental diseases.
Oh,
There
yeah,
are
no,
none.
I completely agree and understand that. Like, yeah, it's horrible that that's just the way like society is now. It's where it's just
Mm-hmm.
like everybody's like, oh, they look like no, like you said, no. And we just went through this. We had a huge meeting today at work, and that was one of the things was the last like major subject uh of our day was like mental health and stress.
Mm-hmm.
Being healthcare workers, what we go through, and it's like yeah, like that kind of stuff you can't just look at somebody and be like, oh yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like I said, like I've learned, like Paul said, like I'm probably definitely not as good as him or you, obviously. Like to be like, oh yeah, that person, is on the spectrum of some kind. But like
Mm-hmm.
I've learned to notice little things, again, being around Xander and, again, we see stuff at work and stuff that, um, I've picked up on, because again, we don't always know, like, because like I don't deal with our child development unit. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't handle any of their patients. They have a different team that does, but again, they're still in our clinic. Like they see our regular pediatricians, but then they also see the specialists. So I see them; they're around, whatever, whatnot. But like again, there's kids where I would have never have guessed. Like, oh, I just thought they were there for like a, they're like normal kid checkup, and they're like, oh no, they're here for the
Mm-hmm.
child development, like the CDU, and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, kids
Mm-hmm.
functioning pretty good, like
Yeah.
and I know it's not all
And
severe, but it's just
no,
like,
and that's what I love, like just in general, is I work with so many clients and parents that I help them understand, like, just because you're diagnosed with something, it doesn't mean that like, you're destructive or you're not capable of doing anything. Like, you're very much capable to be a working classified citizen in in the United States. Like, you are
yeah,
capable to, like, your disease is not a crutch. It's not going to hold you back. It should never hold you back. Like, that's why I always ask my clients, like in general, more particularly, even like people I meet, even if I met Xander, I'd be like, when I'm addressing you and your diagnosis, how do you want me to address you? Because I personally won't be like, oh, you're autistic, but that's because I look at it as, I'm not wearing a name tag that says, hello, my name is autism. Like, you're looking at it as, hi, my name is Xander. Well, hello, Xander. How are you? Like, you're a
yeah,
lovely personality. Like, I focus in on that and not the diagnosis. But there are some people that I have met who are like, you know what? No, I have autism. It's okay to say I'm autistic. It's okay to address it. And so I prefer to ask them with their comfort level before I make that assumption. But that's just how it is, because a lot of times I do run into people who, again, they're functioning so well that I'm like, damn, you doing well. Look at
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I again saw another video, and I mean, most of the stuff that I was seeing was all, positive stuff. Obviously,
Mhm.
everybody's
Yeah.
promoting Autism Day and month or whatever, and it's like, so everything was a lot of positive. But there was one video that came across I think it was on Instagram, that there was a mom, and she was yelling at what turned out to be a teacher, and she was like, "Where's my son? Where's my son?" And she was like, "Well, we have him in here." And he was like locked. Literally, like, this teacher had to unlock the door.
Oh, locked in that room.
He was locked in a room.
Yep, I've seen it.
Is it and they had him chained?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. That's abuse.
Now they didn't show him being chained, but I mean, the lady even admitted it, because
Yeah.
yes, he had an episode or whatever. Like,
He
he was
so
swimming or something.
so he was stimming to an extent, and like, of course, you know, we now as society, like, we get the clip. I
Mm-hmm.
watch
Yeah,
the whole thing.
yeah,
Especially being a special needs dad, I'm not just gonna be like, "What the fuck?" I need to know
Mm-hmm.
why. What the fuck? So I
yeah,
go and I watched it, and it was like, so she comes in, she does ask for her son. They
yeah,
take her to this room, they unlock the door, and I was like, "Where the fuck is this kid?"
yeah. He was
And
laying
all
on
of
the
a sudden,
floor.
he's on the floor, and I was like, "What? Like, you got to be fucking kidding me!"
And the
And
room
it's
was like empty. It was like an extra, almost like a storage room. Like, I don't
yeah,
want to say storage, because there was no desks or anything. Like, it wasn't like a room that was being used,
yeah, it was just like a room, like
like a
just
prison.
yeah, in a way, like a cell. And it's like it nothing for him to be engaged with, or something, in a sense, you get it, Sam, something that could
Mm-hmm.
calm him, or
Yeah.
Yeah,
anything of that nature. You literally put him in the fucking room, you chained him, which is fucking insane, because I would, as a parent, I would lose my fucking shit. Like, I would probably be in jail for assault, because I'd have decked that fucking lady. But
yeah.
I'm
And
just
then that
saying, like,
there was, I don't know if it was a guy. I think it was maybe another girl. She came out of like another door in that room, as if she was like monitoring it, like she was
watching
also
him.
watching
Yeah,
him.
But this is where I want to step in, and this is where I lose my shit, okay? Because this is what's going to happen more and more now, because we've got states who are running our education programs. The ones who don't give
Yeah.
a flying fuck about kids with mental and behavioral health issues. The ones who think that just chain them up and put them aside because they're no good to society is going to fix the problem. Like,
Well,
oh, don't even get me started on this.
I guess one of the problems too is in that video, the mom asked where his, like, count, like, his, I don't know if it was his teacher or his, like, person was. She was like, "Well, where's Miss So and So?" And she was like, "She's not here. She's on vacation or something." So there must not have been anybody properly trained to
Mhm.
deal with him at that time. So these teachers just did what they thought was best, which was fucking horrible. Because even the mom, like you said, Paul, she asked, she was like, "Where's his stuff?" Like, meaning, obviously he had something in his backpack or whatever that probably would have calmed him down.
Mhm.
absolutely.
And they were like, "I don't know." And he was like in the other room. And then the mom was like, "Let's." And then I felt so bad, because that kid kept saying, "I did bad. I did bad." And she was like, "No, you didn't." His mom kept reassuring him. She was like, "You didn't do bad." She looked that lady in the face. She was like, "They did bad." Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
she,
But like now
I'm
this
like you said, I'm
kid is
surprised she didn't fucking hit
traumatized.
that lady. Oh, he was trauma. He was crying. You could see. I mean, when mom finally, because obviously mom was the one recording everything, and when she got close enough that you could see his face, you could see it was red. He was crying,
Nope. I am
visibly
suing
upset.
the
And then
school,
she asked
and
for
my
the
kid is now
footage.
being homeschooled.
She asked for the footage. She goes, "I want to see what happened." Like you said, Paul, like what led up to that. And they were like, "Well, we don't. I don't."
Yeah, well, they
Like, they
didn't
didn't
have
know
one.
what to say.
Yeah, they had no answer for her. And I'd have been like, okay, so what the fuck happened then? Like, you know
Mhm.
Yeah,
what I mean? I'm not going to take fucking your word over my sons. Because
Yeah.
if my son, who in my case can't tell me what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck happened, all right,
Yeah.
and you're gonna convince him, because you're gonna manipulate him to be like, I did bad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna brainwash him and convince him to say what you want, because that gets him out of
Well,
trouble.
see, at the end of the
Yeah.
day, Paul, what they did, they gaslit him. They made him seem like he was the problem.
Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah.
that's that'll never happen to Xander.
That like I said, I saw that and I was like, and like you said, like at first it was just a small clip, but then there was somebody attached it in the comments,
Oh yeah.
the full
Mm-hmm.
thing, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to watch the rest of this. So I did because I was like, I'm like, I don't know this kid, I don't know this mom, I don't know what the fuck's like, and I'm here
Mm-hmm.
like, like that was so horrible,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what they did.
But that's the thing is like I like Xander has had some kind of issues, like with somebody telling him blah 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 blah. Like
Yeah,
you did this. That's why now that I'm in his world completely now, that'll
yeah,
never can happen again.
yeah,
Nobody will tell him, "Hey, you just robbed the liquor store." Where I wasn't even near the fucking liquor store. No, you
yeah,
just stole something from the fucking Walmart. I did steal something from the Walmart. Well, you're gonna get in trouble. Well, I guess I stole something from the fucking Walmart. Like, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
now my thing,
Meanwhile, he has no idea.
like I completely understand, like, yeah, like they don't know, they just know what they're told. But I feel like with Xander though too, like I feel like Xander will like kind of, I guess you could say, like stick up for himself. Like he'll,
He will tell you, he will be. I've literally watched him be emotionally invested and explaining to you that I didn't. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. But it's almost to the point where he gets so flustered if, say, per se, this person, like person A, is
yeah,
lying about it, that Xander will get so overwhelmed, so overstimmed, because he can't go,
Yeah.
no, the fuck, I didn't.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know what I mean? So he's just like, he gets angry and he gets aggressive and he has no way to literally go, fuck you.
See,
No, I
but Paul,
didn't.
that's what I tell like so many people. When a child cannot verbally explain or express themselves, that's when you start to see them behaviorally express themselves.
well,
That's
yeah,
when you start to see the what we call defiant behaviors coming out because they don't know how to verbally tell you what's going on.
Absolutely. 100 fucking.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that
Because Xander has had
it's only
instances
logical.
where it's got so bad because somebody would do something. Uh, Somebody, when he was in like elementary school, I believe. Yeah, elementary or maybe in middle. But somebody took one of his cars that he brought home, like took from
Mm,
home.
Mm-hmm.
And Xander was like, that's mine, that's mine. And the kid was like, no, this is mine, like, this is mine. And it infuriated Xander so bad that's
Mm-hmm.
like, no, dude, I brought that from fucking home. Like, that's mine.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That when they intersect again, Xander went to go get the car off the kid. The kid pulled back, and Xander was like, pow, just
Mm-hmm.
fucking let him have it. And
And just for your knowledge, Eric, again, this like really depends, but children who are more so, even you do see this with some adults too, who are higher, like a level 3 on the spectrum, who are more severe. They do create their own little shit lists in their head. And if you
Oh yeah.
fuck with them enough times, you are permanently placed on their shit list.
No, yeah, no. Like I said, I definitely get, like, yeah. I I mean, just again, like being around Xander, like, I mean, we've always said, like, you know, I guess is the thing with autistic too, is like there's the society's way of thinking about it is as if they're dumb. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
No,
like
it
it's
is.
it's like
intelligent.
they're, but it's like no, yeah, it's like it's the complete opposite. Like
Mhm.
they're super smart kids. They just, like you said, they just have a problem expressing them. Like not a problem
Mhm.
expressing themselves, but
They're
like,
trying to get a need met, and that's where
Yeah.
we as society forget to like break it
but
down
it's
and
just
wonder
like,
what is that need.
yeah. So it's just like I mean, I get, like, I, we were just talking about this at um dinner this past Saturday, Paul. Like, 'cause, we were talking about with some other people we were
Other
with.
people, yeah.
Like autism came up, and it was like, yeah, like it's it's just weird. It like I said, a lot of things like because I put hashtag autism awareness, like everything got swarmed my way on social media, and I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn. Like, I mean, again, I was
It's the
intrigued by it.
rabbit hole. As soon as
Yeah,
you tagged that, it was just right down it.
yeah. Which was, like I said, a lot of it was cool. Just seeing how, again, it was like I was shown how maybe somebody else celebrated it or somebody else's post, this and that. Or again, that girl, the Survivor girl stuff came up, like,
Right.
stuff like that. But then it was just that one video. I was like, one fucking video. Why? Why ruin my day?
Right.
See, this is what ruined my day, though, and this is, I don't know if either one of you were even aware of this, because I recently found this out, and let me tell you, I am beyond fucking pissed and disgusted at this. Apparently, they are now making filters of different disabilities. And so now you can post yourself as a quote unquote sexy Down syndrome woman or sexy autistic.
I just saw
Yeah.
that. Again, like Paul just said, I ended up down a fucking rabbit hole that I did not mean to go down. And because my thing is like having a graphic design background and stuff like that, like I can pick up on that kind of stuff. Like, yes, there is AI out there that is really good and very convincing that it's real. But there is also a huge chunk of it where I'm like, that's fake as shit. Like, come on. Like, who's believing that? And I saw this video. It was just like in like this. I don't even know why it was in like my suggestive area on Instagram. And it was a Down syndrome girl. And they were like, I don't even want to say supermodel, but it was like almost like she was promoting almost like an OnlyFans or something. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. You know what's funny, bro, is I've seen that same video.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, this is definitely fake. Like I could tell because of the way, for one, in the video that they posted, there was a glitch in it. So when she was supposed to be like twerking her butt, there was a glitch in it to where it was almost like they had it looped and you could see where the loop was edited poorly. So I'm like, okay, this is fake. But then, like you said, I ended up down this rabbit hole of this is a whole world.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? This is because you see, and I think some of this stuff might have ended up in my algorithms because I watch some of the videos and things like that of what the hell's her name? Bailey, the Tourette's girl.
Yeah. I love Bailey. Bailey
I know. Yeah. Like I would watch her videos and stuff even before she hit like the TLC world and all that. Like she was, I mean, it was intriguing to learn her world. So I think that's where some of this like stuff started pop because you watch one thing, they start suggesting other stuff, and I'm like, so you would sometimes see some of these Down syndrome influencers, I guess you might want to call them, like
if you want to,
they're trying, and like I have seen some clips or videos of how, Paul, you probably have seen the guy, kid, whatever you want to call him. He's the wrestling one.
Yeah.
Where he's best friends with like the Mysterio family and all that stuff. Like, so I think again too, like I watched some of his videos. So again, I think that partially where it falls into my stuff, but it's like, that's cool. Like they got their own little, like, I don't want to say their own world, but like they're able to get into the social medias in that world, just like you or I could, like anybody else could. So I was like, I don't know though about this whole Down syndrome, like again, promoting almost like OnlyFans. And I'm like, this can't be real. And then I found out, no, it's not.
No,
like it's all AI. And like you said, it's filters now. And I'm like, that is fucking horrible. Like you said, disgusting. Like, I can't believe, like, I don't even know, like, what, like, if I were to meet somebody and it just came up in conversation where they're like, oh yeah, like I do Down syndrome, I would, I don't care if it's a girl, I'm sucker punching somebody right there in that moment.
Yeah. Like I've heard about this too. And like again, it was actually after I did mine on the second, and I was like, all right. So of course, same scenario. When I go, I'm looking, blah 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 blah, and it's like the same things that I'm always looking at, positive
Yeah.
things, or like, you know, just like professional,
Yeah.
like the over, like if you follow the Instagram from me, it's like certain things like relationship shit, like a shit like that.
Yeah.
That one I found is pretty cool. Like I really like it. So then I'm scrolling, and then I saw her, and I was like, what? And then like I'm watching her, and like I'm like, this isn't real. Like same deal. But then I
Yeah.
was like, okay, whatever. And then like you look at the like first thing I'll do is look at comments to see how like accurate where we're at. Because I'm not trying to judge the book by its cover. Like, hey, if she has DS and wants to do an OnlyFans, hey, do you? All
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Like,
Like I'm not
make that
trying to.
money. But my
Yeah.
thing was like I kept looking at it like, nope, that's just wrong. And then you're like reading the comments like these are filters, this is the whole thing. And I like
Yeah.
it made me sick. So I scrolled past it. Like, all right, that's whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah. But
what
now
you're
you
doing.
clicked on it, so guess what?
No, so the next one I did, it was actually the second one I did because after that it was like a promotion or something. So the next one I did, I was literally pissing myself laughing because it was the funniest shit in the world. There's this kid and his brother. The kid is confined to like a wheelchair or like a bed, and he can't talk. Okay? Like, so he can talk through a computer screen with his eyes.
Oh yeah.
And I was like intrigued. So I'm watching it. And they're driving, like, he's driving around Costco and his brother's filming him. And he's
Oh,
using
I
his
think.
eyes, and he's like, he's fucking with his mom, who's like
Yeah.
20 feet in front of him, and she's like, she used drugs and beats me. She used
Yeah.
drugs and beats me, and I'm fucking crying.
His
Like she,
brother's filming it all. You can hear his brother laughing in the background, and mom turns around. Like I saw that too. Mom turns around and she's like, "Shut up! Like these people
right,
are gonna
and
really
she
think."
like covers like like the infrared, so it's all
Yeah.
off, and then she clears it, and then it's just like he does something again,
And
like
it's
they're
like
going
the. I hate again. I hate saying it this way, but it's like the Stephen Hawking thing, like where where
either
it's
way,
that
like it's the
generic
worst.
robot voice, and it's just
Yes, but it's
he was
so
like
fucking great
she what
because
did he say? She locks me in a cage or
she
locks me
locks
in a
me in a
dungeon.
cage, or she something she there was shit he was saying that had me
Yeah.
crying. It's like she locks me up and beats me. She
Yeah.
locks me up and
They went
beats
by
me.
an employee and he was like, "Watch her, she steals."
Yeah, watch her, she steals. And I was like, bro, what
His
the
brother, and then
fuck?
the mom was like, "Quit encouraging him," and he's like,
Right.
"I
Like,
ain't doing nothing. That's all him."
and then she's looking at the brother like, will you stop him? And he's like, no, he's on a roll. Like, he's really
Yeah.
is. Like, he's like, their shit is funny. So I went and clicked on them, and I
Yeah.
was down their rabbit hole for about a good 20, 30 minutes because, like, him and his brother shit talk to each other.
Yeah.
And, like, he was telling him, like, um, something like, I bet your fat ass wants that chocolate milk or whatever. And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, what the fuck?
Like again, it's his brother saw the opportunity for like the brother that does all the filming and stuff. Like he sees the opportunity for his brother who has this situation to be able to still try to be like have a normal life. Like
Have a
why
life.
can't
Have a
he post and
relationship.
why
Yeah.
can't he do things that like again that like normal people do? Like it's the same thing with the wrestling kid. Like his sister was like I guess after a while like we got to start posting this stuff. Like for one, he's hilarious. Like two, like it's such like always for the most part like uplifting, and it's like well I think that kid's sister like she like quit her job and everything, and like she's basically like his social media manager like full time and
Yeah.
like all that stuff, and it's just like I mean he kills me because he'll be taking that wrestling shit so serious.
Yeah. But like that's the same with that other kid too. Is
Yeah.
he'll sit there and he makes the most like fucking crazy as shit. And he's always fucking with somebody in his family. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
because
if
here's
he
the
can
thing, like I guess in his mind, he's like, I could probably say the most fucked up thing right now, and who's gonna correct me?
Right. Who's gonna
Like,
stop
I'm
me?
sorry, but like, if I was out in public and I heard him say like, I don't know, like something dirty, you know what I mean, like a dirty comment or a dirty joke or whatever, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, bro, like I'm gonna
Yeah.
probably feel a little way, like, oh well, like that, like I'm gonna laugh,
I'm gonna
but,
fucking die.
I'm not gonna be the one to correct them either.
If
Like,
I was in that Costco or Walmart and heard she drugs me and beats me, I would have fucking died. I would have been like, dude, that's fucking hilarious.
I would
Like,
have probably played along.
I'd have been
Like,
like, does she really? Man, that's and shit. What else she do? Like,
yeah,
yeah, but like it gives him a chance to like have a laugh, enjoy
yeah,
life. You know what I mean? Make a comical like
He
situation
gets
out
to
of
be a
that.
kid.
Like he gets to enjoy it.
yeah.
Hmm.
And
That's like
that's what it's all about.
that one stand-up comedian that we talk about. I'm forgetting his name right now. The autism guy.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Like,
That
he's
guy's fucking
so
great.
funny, and again, he like makes fun of his own situation.
That's comedy, but yeah.
But I mean, everybody makes fun of their situation. You know what I mean? Like, it's a comic thing. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what it is, like, Bert Kreischer makes fun of the fact that he fucking gets blackout drunk and takes his shirt off everywhere. But you know what I mean? Like, he makes fun of his autism situation. Like, and it's the way he does it is not rude. It's not. It's funny. But yeah, I mean, he also tells other jokes too. It's not like he just bases it off of that. But like, it's, again, it's cool to see that he's able to make a living and to have a life doing that. Like, it's obviously just like anybody else. That's a dream of his, and he's getting to, hopefully he's getting fulfilled by doing it. I mean, it seems like he is because he's always posting shit. But like,
Right.
it's just it is. It's just like I said. This week, it's just been like I feel like a lot more of that kind of stuff. I don't know. I guess that's like the mental health world or whatever you want to call that group of
Yeah.
things. But like, it's just popping up more lately because
I mean, it
of,
is Autism Awareness Month, so
that's what I'm saying. Like, and I think just a lot of that stuff's being around. But I mean, it's always around. It's just more highlighted.
yeah, because like the more it's tagged or like you tagged it, so like you get
Yeah,
that shit comes like
yeah. So I
further up.
just
So
like
that's how it goes.
it was just like, yeah. So yeah, between your son and you and your dad horse racing,
But I was like,
Uh,
I mean, speaking of racing, Sam, I don't know if you saw that Rebecca ran a 5K recently.
I did not. I gotta follow her.
Uh, Rebecca ran a 5K in South Carolina like
I was
last
gonna
week.
say down south, right?
Yep, and she finished that 5K in under a half hour.
Wow.
Oh,
So I'm very, very impressed with Rebecca. She's also doing one in, I think it's Walt Disney World next year for, I think it's the foundation for like, I think it's No Kid Goes Hungry or something of that
Mhm.
nature. But yeah, man, shout out to fucking Rebecca, man. Like, she's sticking to that fucking goal, man. So um, if you haven't by now, you could see that she's like really killing it. She's putting in the effort. And like, I really commend her for what she's doing, especially to do it under a half fucking hour. Like,
yeah,
yeah, let's put in the fucking work. So if you haven't right now, it's like Rebecca underscore the mediocre runner, or just type in Rebecca the mediocre runner. She pops up on IG for sure.
yeah,
And she posts like what she's running, how she's running, what she's doing, and it was like just looking through the photos. It was nice because like you saw her daughter Calliope like giving her like messing with the medal. It was a good day. So
yeah,
I'm sure like that Pittsburgh Marathon is right around the fucking corner.
yeah.
So
We like I said, we just had a big staff meeting today at work, and one of the special guests or whatever was our HR person, which is one of those things where it's like, oh, we always talk to you on the phone or through the computer. They just wanted to come do like a face to face and just introduce themselves. I don't remember where this girl said she was from. Like, I don't think she was. She's not from Pittsburgh. She moved here obviously for work, and she was like, yeah, she was like, I've run a marathon from wherever she's from. She's like, I've run a marathon. She goes, you guys take marathons here so serious. She was like, I've never, and I was like, well, yeah. She was like, she goes, I'm gonna work my way up to running the Pittsburgh Marathon. I think she said she's only been here like 4 years or something like that.
Oh wow.
But she was like, yeah, she's like, I'm gonna work my way up to running that marathon. She goes, I just feel like being a runner. She's like, I just feel like I have to. Like, if I don't, I'm missing out.
Yeah.
She was like, she goes, I just don't know. She goes, I don't think I've seen a city take a marathon so serious before. She's like, you guys love to run. And obviously the dude sitting next to me, he leans over and he goes, yeah, she don't be hanging out in any of our neighborhoods. You got to run anywhere you fucking go. I was like, true. You get in a bad neighborhood.
You ain't doing no jaunt. You're fucking
No.
all right.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
But
right now.
yeah, it's just, it's, I mean, you figure it's that time of year, May. We'll have the Pittsburgh Marathon will be in May.
Yeah.
Well, Tom McCullough, he runs the Pittsburgh Marathon every year, and he has a goal too. I think he started out at that half hour range. I guess that's a good start where everybody always tries to be.
Yeah.
It seems like, but then he he beat that, and then he tried lowering it, and then the one year I think he was like trying to get it under like 25 minutes. He he finished the race with a fucking broken toe. He broke his toe like a quarter of the way, not even like a half. First quarter of the fucking race.
Right.
Broke his toe and finished. And then I think it was the next year. I don't know. It might be reversed. He also finished it. He was running and ended up with shin splints. And again, finished the race. I'm like, you're a fucking Iron Man. Like,
that's fucking commitment. I mean, if you put all that into it, you're gonna want to.
yeah. Well, again, that's these runners. Like, you see them. I mean, I think more and more you see a lot more people out running, just like the biking people. But like even in our neighborhood with all the hills that are over here, like there's still people that run up and down the main drag and stuff. And it's just like, yeah, if you're that committed to, like, it's like, I mean, I guess for us too, Paul, like growing up in Lawrenceville, like, I mean, I remember as a kid, like marathon day was because the marathon used to start at the zoo and run down Butler Street into town.
Yep.
So like, it was almost like it was like a parade day almost, where everybody would line the streets. They're down there with their folding chairs and whatnot, and you're down there with your mom and dad's got the cooler with drinks and snacks in it, and you're just down there all day. You're waiting for the first runner to go by, and you don't leave till the last one goes by. Like, you're just down there.
And then there's a point where you're like, man, I don't give a fuck about this marathon. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? We gonna get something to eat?
I know.
Why
yeah, that's the thing. There was always, because obviously it's a Sunday. The whatever they say, it's like the second or something, third Sunday of May or whatever every year, and it's like, so it was always decent. You know what I mean? So yeah, you always went to somebody's house for like a cookout afterwards. Like, it was just like, now. I mean, people still, it's still a big thing here in the city, but it's just like, I guess because of the routes now different. So it's like,
yeah. I mean, I know I'll probably end up trying to be down there just to get some kind of footage, support her in some way. So
is she trying to run this year?
Yes, that's what she told me and Sam. Like, she's trying.
Wow.
She's legit trying to get to that fucking marathon.
And what is ours? Ours is like 26 miles or something like that.
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
I have I always feel like it's 26 is stuck in my head, but yeah, I don't. That's definitely. I'm not saying the correct number.
I was like, that's a question for her at a later time, because I'm going to bring her on the show as it gets closer to May and just see going. But that's going to do it for this episode. Of course, Eric showed up because Buckos had to be talked about first thing in the
No, we're down to we're slimming down the therapy days, so some of my evenings are freed up a little bit better. But
yeah, it's like, but we'll be back next week. Might be the three of us, might be the two of us. It might be my fucking self. Who knows? Maybe Sam just
depending on what day you record, I might have some McAfee stories to share.
Well, we'll see how that goes. But I got somebody rapping me out. He's like, fucking come on, Dad. What the fuck you doing? I'm trying to get out.
I gotta go to bed soon, Dad. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's like, let's go. What do you look at me. I'm the superstar. Okay. I'm the captain.
He's gonna wake up in the morning. He's gonna be wearing one of them fucking tracksuits.
He might be. He might be. Oh man. All right. Well, for Big E and Samantha, and of course myself, we'll catch y'all next week. And who the fuck knows? Eric might be here. All right. Till next time. Later.
Bye.
Buy some pierogies and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back lit so rude.